Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Davis indoor-outdoor wall sconce. This is going to be the 30, 52, 11. This is going to be the smallest of the three sizes. Also a beautiful hanging lantern that comes down from chain above, and I think you should check that out too. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself. 18 inches tall, all in, and then left to right is coming in at 4 inches wide. So the projection from the wall coming out is only 8.1, and this is only 6.4 pounds, so it's very light. It's made out of aluminum, which makes it incredibly durable. But I want to show you some more information about what's called the back plate. The back plate is 11.7 inches tall by 5 inches wide. It's going to go over your standard 4-inch junction box. And the mounting height, that's the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of the box, is coming in at 5.9. Now, to show you more information about that, we're going to take a quick look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list, like we just said. It's also going to show you something else. It's going to show you some line drawings. Line drawings are going to be the diagrams and schematic drawings of the back of this and how it goes over your junction box. So take advantage of that, because those are on all Hubbardton Forge fixtures on our site. It's nice to be able to see those other views behind this and how it all works. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's seeded glass. Seeded glass is a clear glass with little air bubbles in it. Has kind of a historic, old-timey look going on to it, but it's a very, very pretty glass in its own right. Why don't we talk about lamping on this? That's going to be pretty important, because you may be using this in different applications. You may be using this inside, flanking a fireplace. You might be using it in a dining room, but you also might be using this outdoor, and maybe on your garage, by your front steps, someplace like that. But you also might have it in other places that you can use different bulbs. And that would involve kind of putting it maybe like on a back patio, maybe a screened-in porch, someplace like that. And you're going to want to talk about different bulbs for those different locations. So to begin with, if you want to stick with an incandescent bulb, you can still do that. It's just a chandelier size, very small, screw-in. You can get them everywhere. You're going to be maxed out at a 60-watt max for incandescent because of the heat generated by a 60-watt bulb. However, if you want to go LED, and you probably all will, it's really kind of up to you what goes into this, because there's no limit when it gets into LEDs other than can the bulb fit in the glass, and most of them, almost all of them, are going to be doing that. So the bulbs that you can find for that are going to be something like this. This is a torpedo bulb. There's no little point on it, but you can find these in flame tip too, so it has kind of a more organic look to it. LEDs like this are going to be offered to you in lots of different ways. We talk about that all the time in every video. They're going to offer these to you as a 40-watt equivalent, a 60-watt equivalent. I have found this bulb is a 75-watt equivalent, and a customer actually emailed me a link from online showing me a 100-watt equivalent. So if I was going to have these on the front porch of my house, looking for my dog out in the yard, or on the flanking your garage doors, because you need a light to find your way to the garage itself, it's a great way to do that. If you're going to be using those in that patio situation I talked about, or on maybe a porch, like a screen porch, then you might want to go a different way. You might want to go for a flame tip, or maybe a frosted version of this that has maybe different colors of light, because we talk about the colors of light coming out of LEDs all the time as well. We talk about 2700 Kelvin, which in this situation would actually kind of look like a candle to me. A 2700 Kelvin light is very yellow, like the setting sun. That could be very pretty in this. So this is one of those situations where I think you should definitely look at that. They're also going to offer these to you in something that I probably would not put in this, which is going to be daylight. Daylight is that bluish white hospital waiting room hospital waiting room overcast daylight. That's that bluish white light, and that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. But I also would look at warm white, soft white, and that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. That's kind of the standard for warm white, soft white that we use in our showroom, and that's a light coming down on this table right now. So these are 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft white LEDs above us. So it's a nice glow. It mimics an incandescent bulb, but it doesn't really doesn't mimic a incandescent, like flame-tipped bulb that looks like a candle. And like I said, there's going to be situations where you're going to want to have this in a place like that patio or screened-in porch, where you might want to put this on a dimmer, and we'll talk about that too. You want to always have dimmable versions of the bulbs in those situations. You can dim this down and make it exactly like candlelight. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. On those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.